to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about velocity and acceleration. Before going to the concept of velocity, just recall the idea of distance and displacement, which we have already discussed in the previous video. Consider a person is traveling from point A to point B through a path like this of distance 5 meters. And the straight line distance between A and B is 3 meters. Here, the distance traveled by the person is considered as 5 meters, and the displacement between A and B is considered as 3 meters. Or in other words, the displacement can be defined as the straight line path or the shortest distance between the 2 points. Then coming into the concept of velocity. Velocity describes the total displacement taken to an object with respect to time. So we can represent velocity as velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. Velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. We learned another similar quantity in the previous video known as speed. So in the case of speed represented the distance divided by time, the total distance traveled divided by time. Here velocity represented the displacement taken divided by the time. Then coming into unit of velocity. Unit of velocity is equal to unit of displacement divided by unit of time. What is the unit of displacement? Displacement unit is also SI unit is meter divided by, and unit of time is seconds. So velocity unit is meter per second. The quantity called displacement is a vector quantity. So velocity is also considered as a vector quantity. In the case of speed, speed always represented in terms of distance. So distance is a scalar quantity. Similarly, speed is also a scalar quantity. Next, consider you are sitting in a stationary vehicle. In that case, the velocity is equal to 0 meter per second because you are in the rest position. Consider now your vehicle has started to move with a velocity of 20 meter per second. By this time, you can say that your vehicle is accelerating. Then what do you mean by this acceleration? Acceleration means change in velocity. Here 0 meter per second is changes into 20 meter per second. Then coming into the concept of change in velocity. Change in velocity can be categorized into two. Either increase in the velocity or decrease in the velocity. So here the velocity is increasing from 0 meter per second to 20 meter per second. So this object is accelerating. Consider another example. A vehicle moving with 20 meter per second of velocity is coming into rest, which means the velocity is 0 meter per second. In this case, we call this as deceleration or negative acceleration. Negative acceleration and deceleration shows the change in velocity, but in other words, we can say that is decrease in the velocity. Here 20 meter per second is decreasing into 0 meter per second of velocity. Next, we are going to obtain a small expression for the quantity acceleration. For this, consider an object is moving with a velocity of u got into acceleration with the velocity of v at the time interval is equal to t. In this case, initial velocity initial velocity is equal to u and final velocity is equal to v and time is equal to t. Therefore, acceleration A is equal to v minus u divided by t. V means the final velocity, u means the initial velocity, t means the time. So A is equal to v minus u divided by time. And what is the unit of acceleration? Here the unit of velocity is equal to meter per second divided by unit of time is again second, which is equal to meter per second square. See, either you can write meter divided by second square or meter second minus 2. Both are same. Question number 1. An object in the stationary position accelerated with a velocity 30 meter per second with a set of time 3 seconds. Calculate the rate of acceleration. Before going to solve the question, let us identify the quantities mentioned in the statement. So here, the object is at the rest position, got into acceleration with a velocity of 30 meter per second. So, initial velocity, that means u is equal to 0 meter per second because the object was in the rest position. Final velocity v is equal to 30 meter per second and time is equal to 3 seconds. Therefore, acceleration A is equal to v minus u divided by t, which is equal to, substitute the value for v is 30 meter per second minus 0 meter per second divided by 3 seconds, which is equal to 30 meter per second divided by 3 seconds, which is equal to 10 meter per second square. Therefore, acceleration is equal to 10 meter per second square. Question number 2. A vehicle moving with a velocity 40 meter per second applied a brake and comes into rest after 10 seconds of time. Calculate the rate of acceleration. Before going to solve the question, let us identify the quantities mentioned in the statement. So from the statement it is clear that the object was accelerating with a velocity 40 meter per second, got into rest or changed into velocity of 0 meter per second. So by the time, initial velocity u is equal to 40 meter per second and v is equal to 0 meter per second and time is equal to 10 seconds. So the equation for acceleration is equal to v minus u divided by time. Here value of v is equal to 0 meter per second minus u is 40 meter per second divided by 10 seconds, which is equal to 0 minus 40 is minus 40 meter per second divided by 10 seconds, which is equal to minus 4 meter per second square. Here, the value of acceleration is in the form of negative, or it is in a negative form, which is represented the vehicle is decelerating or it's undergo negative acceleration.